Hey guys, welcome to another Mind Right Monday. I'm Bonnie Kelly, and today we're going to talk about how you can begin to let it go. Let it go. Hey guys, welcome back to another Mind Right Monday. I'm Bonnie Kelly, and today we're talking about how you can let go, especially if you don't know how to. Now, I was reading a book the other day, I'm not going to lie, and it about drew me nuts. It was just talking about how important it is to just let stuff go, just let it go. And its best advice throughout this entire book literally was just let it go. There was no how, there was no strategy, there was no plan, there was nothing. It offered little to no advice. And the worst of it is it's the best-selling book. So when I read this book, I thought to myself, man, I know it's not just me or my clients that really struggle with this concept of just letting things go. And so what I wanted to do is offer you a little Mind Right Monday tip this week to help you be able to overcome this letting go element and really step into, well, letting stuff go. So let's quickly discuss why people hold on to this concept of not letting things go. Well, a big part of it is fear, I'll be honest. Fear is one of the biggest captivators and paralyzers that'll keep us stuck and not moving forward in our lives. So we become obsessed about a memory or obsessed about something or a situation or a person in our mind because we're afraid of whether that repeating, of that happening again, or not, for some of us not learning that lesson. So that fear is a really big component of why we struggle with letting things go. And so one of the tips that we're going to start with today is to become an examinator. That is really my first tip for you to begin to start letting things go. And a part of that is because you want to examine why you have not let it go in the first place. So there again, why you haven't is going to be completely unique to you. And a part of that can be fear. Maybe it's because you feel you don't deserve to let that go. It's a part of you just punishing yourself for a mistake that you've made. Or maybe you're afraid of letting go of a good memory and you just want to hold on to that. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing unless it's hindering you in some way. You want to begin to look at why we are holding on to something. Why are we obsessing about something? It could be a possession that you're holding on to in your house, right? It could be a knick-knack or a paddywhack that you have not been willing to let go of yet. And you know that it's like, this doesn't serve me, I don't need this, and my garage is filled to the brim full of box after box after box of stuff you don't need. And so we have to examine why. Why are you holding on to it? What's the motivator? What purpose is it serving in your life? And by examining that, it's going to get you closer to understanding the why you're holding on to this, and so you can start formulating a solution around your why. That leads me to my second way that we can begin to start letting things go, and that is move towards acceptance. You've heard me talk about acceptance, and acceptance does not equal acceptable. But acceptance is really coming to terms with that your past is your past. And unless you have a time machine, then we can't go backwards and change a moment, a minute, or a year, or a situation, or anything that has happened even 30 seconds ago from right now. And so coming to acceptance is just recognizing that, yeah, that stuff happened. That happened to me, or I did that, or I made that mistake. And when we focus and when we shift that attention to just this idea, just let go of that mistake and just coming to terms with, yeah, I made that mistake, it's going to get you closer to being able to release those emotions that are keeping you stuck. Because not letting go is going to show up with those emotions that'll bubble up and you find yourself getting irritated or annoyed or frustrated or rage or hurt or sadness. And all of those emotions that'll fester up when you get triggered or you think that something's happening again. And so we need to process through that, and a good way to start doing that is to accept the things you cannot change. Okay, that leads me to my third and final tip to help you move a little closer towards letting something go. And that is focus on only what you can change. Now, this is another big topic, is that focusing only on the elements that you can change. And the reason why I follow this after acceptance is because we can only accept the things we cannot change, and then now we need to move into focusing on the elements that you can change. There are pieces of this. There are elements of this that you might be able to change moving forward. And maybe that's a boundary that you need to learn to create Maybe that's you speaking up and advocating for your needs. Maybe that's you not putting yourself in those situations or not dating those same type of people. You have to really become that examinator, shift into accepting the things you cannot change, and focus on the things that you can change. The combination of these three things together is going to help move you into letting things go. And that way you don't get hung up. See? Isn't an idea or a strategy much better than just the words, I let it go? It's great in theory, but if you don't know how, it's going to be impossible for you to move. So that's why I'm always here to give you advice. And that leads me to this week's tweetable, which is, just letting go isn't a viable strategy. Understanding why you haven't let it go is. Hopefully this week's video has helped you maybe move and shift a little bit closer into letting go of areas that no longer serve you, or letting go of a story, or letting go of a fear, or something that's really limited or hindered you in some way. So I'm Bonnie Kelly. Don't forget to comment below. We love hearing what you have to say about all of our videos, and we like hearing your tips and tools on how you can help others let go with your strategies as well. So don't forget to tweet, friend, fan, and follow us on all social media platforms, and you can always contact us with getinspired@bonniekelly.me. And until next week, I'm Bonnie Kelly.